5 minutes for questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I do appreciate it, and appreciate your service to our country and your leadership and mentoring as we've gone through these committee processes on how to do things right since I got here in Congress some time ago. But do appreciate it very, very much. Okay, Mr. Conrad, you indicated that your business would be affected if USDA took over shrimp, and I implied, but I want to make sure I was making the right connection, that you would buy your shrimp from foreign sources because they would be able to undercut the American market, although it's fairly small. They would be able to undercut the American market, and you're currently buying American shrimp. Is that what I understood?
No, sir.
All right, I got it wrong. Tell me, you can't tell me that Libby Hill would stop selling shrimp?
No, sir, absolutely not.
So-
But the price would have to be passed on to our consumers, Congressman. And I think that's where we are with catfish right now. Consumers are going to be paying the bill, in my opinion, for a problem that didn't exist, sir.
Okay.
And I think that would be continued should the USDA move into the shrimp as well.
Now let's talk about a little tilapia.
Yes,
you
sir.
said that somebody from the USDA exceeded their authority, and serving on the Energy and Commerce Committee, this is not shocking that an agency would overstep their authority. We see that all the time in lots of areas, unfortunately. But you're saying that you got an oral report, and we're not stating it as definitive fact, but that you got an oral report that somebody who raises tilapia in your region had the USDA visit them and say you're going to have to register, even though all they raise is tilapia?
No, sir. It was a company that does not currently import catfish, but is in the tilapia business. Not necessarily in my region, but was visited by a USDA inspector.
Okay. So but they're a business that currently imports tilapia or buys American or does both, foreign and American tilapia?
I'm not sure about the American part, but they are in the tilapia business internationally.
All right, because that would be a concern, as you may be aware, although they don't sell to Libby Hill. I have a large tilapia indoor facility in my district that ships to the Northeast, live fish, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Ms. Gordon, I have to ask, because I once worked at McDonald's many, many years ago back in the 70s. Were you all the providers of our filet-of-fish sandwich? Because I know that there was a Gorton's company that provided all our fish at that time.
No, Congressman, but to clear up any confusion, my great-great-grandfather started what is now Gorton's of Gloucester, who provides McDonald's with their sandwiches, and my grandfather left that business in 1928 and started our company.
Okay, so it's a family connection, but not the same company.
Exactly.
All right, I do appreciate that. And you indicated it would be really hard for you all. Is it just that it would force out a lot of folks out of the catfish market, as Mr. Conrad has said?
Yes, sir, and just as he also shared, it would force us to pass along a price increase to consumers who really are already paying high prices for all seafood and just can't afford it. And so they're going to look at alternative proteins and I, for one, Congressman, don't want to be eating bugs in 20 years, so we're really committed to seafood.
I can appreciate that very much. Well, I thank you all for being here, and obviously, Mr. Farrell, I read your testimony and asked questions earlier off of that, and that affects, while you all seem to buy a lot from North Carolina, it's probably fish being caught in Virginia and other places in the Chesapeake Bay. And so we want to make sure that wild-caught catfish, particularly the blue catfish, is still available for your restaurants because it helps the bay and it helps put money in the pockets of Virginia businesses.
And can I just say that a lot of the fish that we are buying is actually from the Chesapeake Bay region?
That's what I suspected, yes, sir. Well, I appreciate it very much, and again, Mr. Chairman, it's with some sadness that I yield back for the last time to you, Mr. Chairman.
Chair,